is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're back in the shop and we're going to be discussing how I did things and how much did it cost to build Patch Adams. So this thing started life as a 1997 Jeep TJ Wrangler, and obviously I took the body off of it and left the drivetrain, and then I welded some brackets and bolted the seats to them and then built a cage around the seats, and the rest is kind of history. So if you are new to my channel, I literally built this entire thing on my channel. So if you want to see the start to finish or to where it is now, because I'm not really finished with it, but if you want to see how it got to this stage right here, definitely check out my other videos. Basically, this is a budget build rock crawler go-kart, and the reason I'm calling it a go-kart is because it's so tiny. I still have the Dana 30 in the front and the Dana 35 in the rear, and it is on 35-inch tires. The only thing I've done is I swapped out the front axle for a Dana 30 that had a truss and gussets welded to it. But the control arms, they aren't factory, but they're the ones that were on the Jeep when I got it. And they're just like, it looks like it has aftermarket lowers, but the uppers are factory. Yeah. But this thing is super narrow. I really think it's more narrow than a side-by-side. Because this is a factory Dana 35, but it looks like a buggy that has full width axles. But this is just a factory Dana 35. But this seriously has been one of the most fun builds I've ever done in my shop. Literally everything on this vehicle has been done right here in this bay or on my lift bay right there, or on my lift. So like the painting, the welding, the tube bending, everything was done right here in-house, and I think that's really cool. I mean, I act like I did like amazing paint job. I spray painted it, but I don't think it looks too terrible. But the interior is pretty simple. There's not really interior. It's just some sheet metal that I formed and kind of just made work. Literally the only thing that's separating you from like a million moving parts is like 18 gauge or 16 gauge sheet metal. So it's super light, super functional, and it's definitely got a lot of character.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
It's super low, it's super fast because it's like the size of like a Polaris Razor like 800, but it has the 4.0 and an automatic transmission and a 231 behind that. It's like a burnout machine. So whenever I was building this, I did have a budget in mind of $5,000. I did not really want to go over $5,000 just because I feel like that's kind of like a budget build. But anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. I wore this shirt just so I could do this. So whenever I was putting on the shirt to come out here, my wife said I looked like I was about to take some pictures for Farmers Only.
Oh, my first response on Farmers Only.
Okay, so the first thing is the Jeep. I bought this Jeep probably two or 3 years ago. I bought it from a guy in town, and it did have some stuff done to it, but it was really, really rusty. The frame was rusty, and it had some patches on the frame, hence the name Patch Adams. So I ended up buying the Jeep for $500. Cha-ching. And I ended up selling it to a buddy of mine, and he kind of did some stuff to it. Then he just kind of let it sit for a little while. So I ended up just basically giving him his money back and getting the Jeep back. We're gonna put $500 down for the Jeep itself. The next thing would be the tube. The tube work, that was one of the more expensive things. I couldn't really find the receipts for what I paid for all this tube. And to be honest with you, I need to measure the cage to see how much tube that I have into this, because from what I understand, I think I have 3 sticks in this, maybe 3.5 to 4 sticks altogether. But we're just gonna put $900 down for the DOM for the tube work. So the next thing is the seats. So I ended up getting a Christmas special on these Aces Racing. I don't know, it popped up on Facebook. But I ended up getting a Christmas special on those, and they were $500 right there at Christmas time. So we're putting $500 down for seats. The next thing I'm gonna put down is the wiring / lights. So I ended up going to Amazon and getting a bunch of lights, such as the chase bar here, and then I got the headlights on the front, and I estimated about $150 that I put into the wiring and the light bar and everything like that to control them. So yeah, so we're putting $150 down on the wiring, and to be honest with you, like these aren't like necessary. So this is kind of like, you don't have to do this if you were like building one for your own, but I had to be extra. The next thing on the list is one of my favorite things about this whole rig. So that would be this fuel cell. I really wanted the Moto-Built fuel cell to be kind of like, to just be kind of on display in the rear. Like I wanted it to be capsulated with tube. I just wanted you to be able to see everything in the rear, so it was like a go-kart, you know, because back in the day, I would sit in a go-kart and my dad would, come behind it and crank it and stuff, and then I'd just take off like a bat out of hell. And to me, like, this just feels like a go-kart. The Moto-Built fuel cell for the TJ LJ fits absolutely perfect and works perfect. But I ended up getting that on a Christmas special as well for $500. So, and I think originally they're like $600. So basically a lot of the stuff I bought on sale. So the next thing on the list, this is where things get a wee hairy. It's actually the most money that I spent on this entire thing, and it's going to be the tires and wheels. I could have got some on Facebook Marketplace, but I live in Eastern North Carolina, and the only thing around here is bald 37-inch mud grapplers for a 22-inch wheel. So I wanted to keep the go-kart look with a swamper, so I went with some pizza cutters. These are a 35-inch by 10 for a 17-inch wheel. And you can see here, they are skinny. But that's what I wanted. I really wanted a narrow tire. I ended up giving $1,100 for the tires. I did use a discount code to get them at that price, but like I said, these aren't really necessary for the build. It's just what I bought for the build. So I'm running a 17-inch RockTrix beadlock wheel. So I run RockTrix on a lot of my rigs, and I really like them. So I'll be honest with you, I did reach out to them, told them what I was doing, sent them some pictures, and they did give me a hookup. But if I was going to buy these just straight out, like if I just went to the internet and bought them like right now, it would be around $1,200. But like I said, I'm just being transparent. I did get the hookup with these. Thank you, RockTrix. I really like them, and they make this build look so much better. Which brings me to the next point. If you would like some RockTrix wheels or beadlocks for your rig, make sure that you use my discount code and get 10% off of them. Going right down the list. The next thing is the steering. So whenever I was at the Beast Wars and I saw the banana peel working and I saw Dex's Jeep working really well, I looked at the steering that he was using, and he said that he just got this eBay kit for his steering, and that's what I bought. It looks like it's just maybe DOM. It just looks like some bent DOM with Heim joints on each ends, and it's welded, and the bungs are already welded, so all you have to do is put some anti-seize in the threads and drill out the knuckles and put it on. And I put $100 down for the steering. And also, while we're talking about the front axle, I did put a locker in the front, which I got it off, I think I got it off Amazon for like $200. So we'll put $200 down for the locker. The rear I actually welded, so that was free. While we're up here at the front, we'll go ahead and go over the next thing, which is the winch. I got this winch on sale at Harbor Freight. I stole a coupon from my dad. Thank you, Dad. And I ended up giving around $250 for this winch. And so putting $250 down right there. So the next thing is the armor. So this Jeep is really low. I'm a pretty short guy. I'm around 6'2". I wanted to keep this Jeep super low and stable. And if you're gonna do that, you have to have armor. So I went to my friends at Barnes and ordered all the armor for underneath it. So it's the power steering box skid, and I ended up painting it the same color just because I thought it was cool. And then underneath it, I have the Barnes skid plate for the motor and the automatic transmission. And I ended up making it, kind of fabricating to make it fit the factory cross member underneath it. So I have tried to save a little bit of money. Like, I didn't get the full kit, but I just kind of made what they had work with what I had. That doesn't make sense. So the last thing on my list, I forgot. It's these PRP seat belts, or safety harnesses. So I always say you can't put a price on safety, and with something like this, I'm definitely going to be wearing a helmet, and I'm going to be wearing these PRP harnesses because I plan on putting this thing in some pretty serious situations. If you were just going to go right now to the internet and buy these exact harnesses, they would be around $120, which is nothing when you're talking about like safety restraints, like something keeping you from being ejected from the vehicle. If you have done all your math all the way down, you would have got the same number that I have right now, which is $5,820. So you might be saying to yourself, well, you went over budget by $820. Well, yes and no. I didn't pay out $5,820, but if I was going to buy everything new with like the discount codes and stuff like that, it would be right at $5,820. I don't have exactly how much that I put into it, but like the money that left my account was less than $5,000. But I know like with competitions and stuff, that doesn't count. Like they don't care if it's sponsored or if you buy it. They just care about the monetary numbers. So, but realistically, I have spent around, I would say about $4,500 for this build. Like that's just like cash leaving my hand, money leaving my account. So think about all the stuff that I took off of this Jeep. Now, in my mind, kind of like dude math, if I sell the parts off of this, that goes back into the budget. So now we're going to go through everything that I have sold off of the original body to put back into the budget. Because what I like to do before I buy something, I like to sell something or do the work to make up for it. I don't like to go into my accounts. But so the first thing I have on here that I sold is the seat belts. I sold the factory seat belts out of this Jeep for $100. So plus $100 right here. Then I sold the doors off of it for $600. So plus $600. And then I sold the old winch that came off of it for $300. So right there, I've sold $1,000 worth of stuff. Like people have given me $1,000 cash to put back towards this. So does that put us at $4,820? I think so. And there's other things off of it that I still have to sell. Like I can sell the whole tub. I can sell the seats out of it. I can sell the top that was on it. I mean, I think I got $900, just an estimate of stuff that I could sell. Like, so say if I sold everything that is sellable off of that Jeep, it would bring it down to $3,920. Like I said, this is just a rough estimate. But in my mind, as of right now, I'm just gonna say that this build has cost me to this point right now, $4,820. Let me know what y'all think. Is that the correct way? Is that how y'all budget stuff whenever y'all do these projects? So after going through all this list and kind of going through my, like how much I paid for stuff, I would say that this has been a budget friendly build. It wasn't like I just went and got, East Coast Gear Supply Dana 60s and, a 44 and, 40s and stuff like that. Like, I have worked to use stuff around my shop instead of just going online and ordering. But then again, like companies like Barnes and Moto Built, they make these parts so easy it's just easier just to buy it from them and plop it on and it's done. Like the fuel cell, for instance. Like I'm not gonna make a fuel cell for this. I could, but it would leak and burn to the ground. It's just way better just to get it from Moto Built and spend the $500 just for the simplicity of being able to bolt it on and be done with it. So I've only been able to take this little rig to one off-road event since it's been completed, or to this phase right here. And it was really cool to see everybody walking up to it, taking pictures. Like everybody that walked up to it, you would just start seeing them smile just because it's so tiny. It's so like weird looking. So this is phase one for this build. I do plan on going crazy with it after I do the Kart Wars with Bleep and Jeep later this October. So there are some rules. We're kind of keeping it budgets on those builds with the go-karts, but we're not doing like it was with the Beast Wars where you can buy somebody's rig or da-da-da-da. We're just kind of just going like, hey, you know, just don't bring like a rock bouncer and you can have fun with us. We're trying to keep them budget friendly, and we're trying to keep them on 35s at the max size tire. And we're also just trying to keep them, you know, not putting like 1 tons and stuff and rock wheels underneath these buggies. But after the Kart Wars, you know, then it's free game to, you know, swap in whatever axles I want to. But anyway, guys, I'm probably going to end this video right here. I know this video was a lot of me talking, but I feel like we had a lot to talk about. I wanted to go over, you know, all the stuff of what went into building this go-kart, like, you know, financially. But if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you have any suggestions of what I should do, I'm curious to know, because this is kind of like a one-of-a-kind build. I haven't really ever seen anything like this. So if you have an idea of something cool I could do, drop them in the comments. If you don't mind, hit that like button and make sure that you are subscribed so you don't miss out on any further content on my little Jeep TJ go-kart here. I'm going to be taking it off-roading here shortly to test out everything and to make sure everything works so I don't get all the way to Tennessee and it falls all to pieces. So definitely stay tuned for that, and we'll see y'all next time. I thought this was a nice touch. It's like the lowered F-150s that you see that the truck itself is airbrushed on the tailgate. It's like the F-150 on the tailgate and like a wolf howling at the moon beside it. It's pretty nice.